see if I can let the beach on. I will attack those people who are both going up right there with the pieces. Facts! They come back right now, but you guys aren't recognizing that. We only have the Australia content because Barack took Joe out, and it's beating Barack. You have it again. Because it's not Barack, but they're just targeting. Is that what it is now? It's getting on player 4. Facts!
I think I know where I am, actually.
Well, like always. I'm going to shoot the Madagascar and try to attack Madagascar. I'm surprised that you're investing around Madagascar. And what the hell is that supposed to be? For real?
Shit, nice flying right away.
Oh, lucky day.
Well, most of his army is in Madagascar, so why would he risk losing troops in his main presence? Okay, you guys are all stupid. Black David George had something special happen this guy. Don't talk around. We really just finished the last place you got going on. Okay, so we're going to attack two prominent bonuses, then I'll be unbeatable. That was a pretty productive turn down the nation. All you got is first. I'm out of the game. Ain't that the truth? Calling it how it is. Yeah, okay. Donald was able to secure himself another turn. Facts! Of course, I can say that was productive. Stop being so insecure. Facts! And unfortunately, I could get a football because you're trash. I don't know. I'm thinking South America bonus. Wait, what? Dumb down and back at it, ladies and gentlemen. Would you shut up, man? Only people who can allow the Rock to survive and the South America entrance exposed like that. Garbage play. Shut the hell up, player 4. What is your plan here? Go to Georgia and continue pursuing North America. Respect me. Kind of looking like you're going to end up in third place, player 4. Shut up. You're talking too much. I'm getting to the last place. These are like you have to say. We can all do is shut up so clearly you're in your field right now. Ain't that the truth? Okay, stop me driving. Focus on yourself. You ever go to enjoy an amazing comeback, and you guys don't even realize it yet. Okay, you want me to focus on my turn? How about I focus on South American territory and defend it so well this time that nobody will be able to break into this time? Not a bad move, not a bad move, but I think for the eliminate player 4 is pretty dominant. Damn! I just noticed that. I'm so stupid. Okay, keep saying, don't. Excuse me? I guess it's pretty good. Maybe playing the safe with the better move. We will never know, but it's your turn. This is the last place to move. Well, I have a lot of options. I haven't been good track. I got a quick bonus, and I could definitely didn't have it, but I'm kind of looking for it to capture the after the story goes to present. Okay, your goal is becoming a problem. For real. You have to do something about that. It will take you this long to figure that out, little piece kid. Seriously, we'll be taking it to us do this from the start. Which is why I needed you to take him out. No one really wanted to take him out because of the joke. Don't even talk to him. You literally get that. Wait, what? And go and distract him. There's the third door. That's where the lock is at. Once again, you guys are being very sensitive. Well, I have the answer to that. You don't matter. Well, there's an external mind. Whether that's that, watch, respect. Okay, and how's you plan on doing that? You're all over the place right now. Well, it's pretty simple. Even someone who's done it, you can understand. Seriously? I put troops into North America and I attack. Does that make sense? Okay, too much player 4. So we're going to call Donald Trump stupid and it'll be shit. What's wrong with him? Nothing is wrong with him. Those are all facts. Still, you don't have the North American continent. Respect them. All right, I've heard enough from you. You can't make Donald's turn to make something special happen. Let's see what you got, Donald. I think I'm just going to pursue agents of war. I just need more territory. Do you feel that's the best thing to do for this territory, Donald? Are you trying to help Donald or something? Stop it. If it makes you feel better about yourself, then fine. I'm not secure the last place option. Yeah, because that definitely sounds like you're not secure. Well, I'm not. Anyway, stop talking. I'm probably I couldn't even do it for saying. I want to think that I'm secure. Now I can't attack those four. This is stupid. That's not stupid. Here we go again. It's doing the damage. That's all I need to do is just finish it against player 4. So I think it's pretty obvious what a very player like you can do. The only option here is to go for Australia. Are you serious right now? I'm going to put all my troops there and attack you down. I told you, my comeback has happened. I don't know about that.
Nobody needs this anymore.
Yeah, I think you better off turning to North America. I wasn't here for what you think, Joe. You don't want to do it. Okay, don't go to the down. I think you got it. If you lost, you're going to lose. It doesn't matter, Donald. Still taking away that Australia. At least we still have a continent bonus, Donald. For real, what's the thing this is? Well, I hate to break it to you, Barack, but I got to get you out of here. Wait, what? What's the future with that African territory? It's about being time to do something. I don't know what I'm down. Okay, because I'm going to Barack right now. That doesn't mean that I'm not going to lose you later on. The final stage will occur, just you wait. There will be no stacking. I'm going to step. If you ain't built up the third down. I think I'm just going to take over the African continent for now. I'm not sure if I want to pursue Barack's 24 troops. It's the right thing to not attack that zone. Be glad again. He's definitely going to come back, but it will be player forward to make this garbage come back up here. Oh no, I definitely don't go with it. Yeah, the spanking is inevitable. Again, player forward can't run away. I hope you're right about that, John. Of course, it will. It's finally not a player for. You know what they call this, Donovan? What do they call this, Iran? Facts. Oh, hell yeah. Yes, sir. This is some expensive new writing that's going on right now. We're going right now. I'm like, hell yeah. You're going to give that player for, you're going to give North America bonus. Series, same thing with Donald, Africa bonus. Damn, that's a pretty good strategy, Iran. The other day, in terms of what's going to essentially what you do. Seriously, Jim, we don't need to tell the commentary analysis. So when you need your excessive toxicity and aggressiveness, you still did it anyway. Fact. All right, that was a pathetic term for Barack. There's two things time you want to witness go to Georgia's greatness. Respect. Bow down to praise. Okay, hurry it up with your transfer so King Donald can make something special happen. Well, grabbing Australia's hot effects. Oh, really? That is a productive term. That is a golden term. In what world would you be able to defend Australia with free food? For real. Maybe the average person wouldn't be able to. If I could go like me, then we wouldn't be able to. All right, I don't know what you're on right now, but I'm going to make sure you don't get any bonus from Australia. All right, again, I'm no surprise there. This is a disgusting mindset you have played forward. Seriously? If it's anything that's disgusting, it's your constant heat riding. You wish you could be the one heat riding with this one. What the hell? I did with that suspect. All right, don't focus on Joe. Focus on King Don. You're not a king. You're a peasant. You're trash. You're pathetic. Yeah, whatever you say. Close as hell. You guys are going to recognize my comeback.
Down to side. He's not exactly your average kid. Don't say it's
What's not all the way down? Okay, don't let us worry. You're on your delusional nonsense again. Back. I guess my strategy here is just to get into killing down with the territory. Once again, we're going to run out of time for South America bonus.
Stuff coming heavy.
Why have the Parliament translated this speaking of sentence? Still about the attack is going to Tuesday. He's not going to fix the Iran. Here's the point of telling you these things. Only the third final sentence can turn it back to normal. Stop talking about the Spanish. It's not going to happen. Think about that. You're not listening as much here. Okay, something else. You're not seeing me right now. What? I got the North American continent. I control because I'm voting for I am literally going to break the North American territory. Why are you acting like you're going to be able to protect it? Because it's stupid. I all right, here's something new. Watch the journal, okay? Shut up, damn. I gotta stop there, though. I can't attack the Rock African continent. Of course, defended super well against me. And just like that, I'm back in the shit. I tell you, it's standard to do it. I'm not sure if you're ready to defend Europe. I guess we'll see. See, this is what happens when it goes to down. Oh, really? Stop people back there and come back to Iraq before it's too late. I think I'll be fine regardless of who I go for first. And just like that, boy, the eliminated the last two documents under control. Let's see what's good. There's nothing good about what you're doing right now. Go out there and go enjoy and go back to food while you're doing it. Okay, well, hurry about that. Shut the hell up, Mr. Stop running. You're already running. With that, you got targeted to like always sitting in South America. Actually, no. What's the name of the country? You're away. Hey. What the hell is going on? Shut the hell up, player 4. Still in player 4. Second, and I just decided you. I'm trying to win. That was a pretty productive turn, Donald. Let's see what you got there. Well, the most I can do is decide if there's African something. Because you're trying getting out of line. Don't aim all high and right player 4. Your spanking is still coming. There will be no spanking. Okay, I guess this is all I can do. Really. Right, Mark? I did it. I'm 17 feet slow. Are you even going to do anything with player 4? For real. Just want to sit with the How dare you question me? Watch. You're going to do something there? I'm taking out the rock. Good luck. I do. I will get more cards and I will be able to get more troops and defeat Donald. Okay, what the hell was no respect?
Come on,
I told you all I had to just come back. Bow down to the peasants. This is a risky player for. Are you sure Once again, Bill back out of the result of commentary analysis. I know what I'm doing. Do you know? I know. But it doesn't tell us what I'm supposed to do. Don't you dare call yourself a kid? I'm King Donald. Shut up, Bill. You sound fine. Excuse me. You're really fun. But you don't have to so shut up. It's not possible to play this thing. It's crazy. Exactly last and you can pull ahead of yourself. I don't that was an absolute disaster to your head. Okay, a lot happened. Donald, why you need to have well, I'm eliminating the rock. After I do that, the spanking session will be happening. Well, I guess this game will come down to Donald and player 4. I guess so. But after that, player 4 Donald. Excuses are all excuses. Well, I'd like player 4 to run having safety game. And definitely when you're there, there were moments where you started having some crazy potential. That's all. I think you know what needs to be done now. Yeah, it's just finish the job. Oh, I will. Don't worry about that. Did I ever tell you guys I'm discussing this for 5 years? I think you got all the things to do for the 4. I'm still in control of this game. Oh, really? That's just too fun to see it. Well, I'm about to take all of your content bonuses away. Yeah, what do you have to say about that? You're going to lose more time. Go to the focus on me. You're losing a little tag. Just call my gourmet cookie right now. I'm not saying much, if I'm being honest with you. But Donald, most of you could have headed to Australia first. I'll be fine. Watch the show. Just keep watching. I'll be fine. After this, this is for you, player Dan. That's fair. What did I tell you all? All of you guys. Here we go. You all need help. You all need to get better. You all are stupid right now. Respect me. Bow down to me. For I am the God and go to George. What the hell did I just do? Some way, somehow, player 4 gets worse and worse every time. Nobody cares for your record. Oh, you get better than this? All right, so this get more and more. So we don't need to go forward. Well, we're going to see go. That's not good. Left side of the map. Look at it. Stupid. I assure you all, this will be over. Yeah. Wait, what the hell was that? Wait, what the hell? You're the dumb donut. The South American continent? Hold that player 4. I really don't know what's wrong right now. It doesn't surprise me whatsoever. Player 4 is overrated. What? Player 4 is delusional. What? Player 4 is about to get spanked. Are you guys trying to lose some track or something? What in the world did I just hear? Regardless, I'm about to take over this entire damn map. King Donald will be the one who will come out on top. Look, it's based on where your troops are. All right, definitely take control of Europe and Australia. And based on how you got Lex place, you should shut the hell up. Well, you just spat out some facts. No, Jesus Christ. Shut the hell up. That, this is disgusting. Are you starting to accept the reality that a spanking is coming your way? There will be nothing of that sort. Yeah, okay. I don't think you guys realize how big of a comeback I'm going to make. Delusion. I have a true bonus from my cards, too. Respect. I think you've got 1 or 2 turns left to survive. After that, the spanking will start. You never know when to shut up, do you? I just took away your North American. So I tell you to shut up with your garbage analysis. Focus on the gameplay to do it. I don't get along like goddamn. Your player 4 is losing it. I can tell. Shut up. I got this. Yeah, I love it. I'm a king. I'm God. Respect me. Bow down to me. Recognize my greatness. Okay, what's your strategy here? Take away South America. Take away Africa. Take away Europe because I can go to George Gammon. You can take away South America, Africa, Europe. It doesn't matter. King Donald is fine. Continue spitting it back up, Donald. This is disgusting. I will overcome all since I go. Jesus Christ, Donald. It's either this turn or my next turn that I will finish things off. Not the sooner you recognize that player 4, the easier it will be for you. Let's see how you go about this, Donald. It's pretty simple. I'm going to take everything on the west side of the map. North America. No South America, no Africa, no Europe, no. I don't think I'll be able to finish player 4 on this turn since he has 2 territories in Asia. I don't think you guys are seeing what I'm seeing. Oh yeah, how could we? You're delusional as hell. No, you guys are the delusional ones. We try to be player 4. I don't think you hear it. That thing says it's more hot. Go there. Everything is okay. Because I'm a king of the continuum. I want you to I'm going to George. Everyone thinks you can go on because all the different respect your cannon. Just know the more extreme chose to be. I'm so good. Sitting down for the group and help us watch this amazing comeback. Go to George will never back down. Respect me. Admire me. Recognize me. Thank you, that's where we started. It kind of feels like hell in there. I'm going to win. You guys just don't see what I see. Everything all done. We needed to be home. Don't worry, Barack. I got you guys. Sessions to offset his 3 winners. Say, we accomplished it, boys. I'm still in this. It's going to be a lot for this. Don't worry about the show. It was good for them. Can I get a countdown for the final spanking session? Oh, hell yeah. Rock, here we countdown. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Let the spanking begin. All right, let's get away. Double defense. Brixton. That's like this.
You deserve to get ahead. We're finding ways to help you make more so you can afford more. Switch your banking today.
Stop it. Oh my God. No. No. I should be Is that it? I think so. There? Yeah, for real, you've been really awkward. I'm so sorry for everything. I'm sorry I called you guys stupid. I'm sorry that I have to call you obese. I'm sorry for being toxic. I'm sorry for being mean. I'm sorry for being messed up. I'm sorry for everything. I am so sorry. You mean a lot to us when you feel sorry for the things you said, George, but we just want to make sure you're doing okay. Everything's okay, George. Are you doing okay? That George on the order on. And okay, no, you're here to do. I think I gotta get away from this. Time to get this. Bye for now, boy. Is George be okay? I think so. I hope it's all right. Let's call it for another George. Sit down. All right, please. Ready to play another game of this. Yeah, we did that out. I'm not playing this. It looks like well, I think that's kind of good. Actually, I'm doing okay. George will be coming the next time we play. Really? Why do you care? I can't wait to play with you. You won't be. It's been a minute since I've talked to you. We'll figure that out when the time comes. Sounds good. Since this is Bill's first time playing Risk with us. And last. We'll be playing on the world map to keep it simple. That's fine with me. I am the purple color. Donald is the orange color. Joe is the white color. And Bill is the green color. Everything seems good to me. Start it up, Barack. All right, good luck. May the best player win. Don't worry about who's going to win. King Donald will be going back to back. So this is an interesting distribution of our lands and troops. For real. All right, just because you're in the group, it doesn't mean you get to talk. I think it does. No? But anyway, I will be putting troops in the South America area and attack elsewhere. I'm surprised you did that, Barack. For real. I just get the feeling that everyone is going to go for Australia. Not a bad thing to think ahead like things going. All right, stop talking. It's King Donald's turn. What's the move here, Donald? Well, the distributions of the land screwed me over, so I'm just putting troops into Europe and attacking elsewhere for now. Europe would be pretty hard to defend, though. You're correct. Stop talking. Europe and Asia are the hardest to defend, I think. Well, nobody asked for your analysis. Bill isn't on the group for good now, Donald. George will be back. I looked at that from our last game. Back. Now you have to figure out a way to deal with this. No, George will be back soon. All right, it's my turn, go. Nobody cares. I will put troops into Central America and go for the North America continent. Seems like a solid strategy since more of your lands are in the North America continent. Yeah, that's not a bad way to open it up. Thanks, Governor. Stop talking. Although this is my plan for now. It may change depending on what you three do. Oh, really now? Tell us something less obvious. If George does come back, Donald, what the hell? I guarantee you. That's it. All that is Okay, nobody cares what you think or say or anything for that matter. All right, that's enough. I'm going to go to the side something at the mountain. I put it on. You're not even close like that road yet. It's still a step in the right direction. All right, well, keep going. I'm sure you want to let the productive period of his life. We'll pick up here on the track. That's a solid unit. How is that any different than the better? Because it just is. Why would they look at this as one time? Continue watching the game. Okay, so second time. And I'll end my turn there. All I need is Iceland to take over the entire European continent. That's what you call a productive turn. Okay, nice turn. We're not going to be all. Governor, look. I'm just Right, and attack one side. Okay, it seems solid. You have a lot over there. It makes sense. You seriously lost 14 like that? I didn't want to lose 14, but you did. Calm the hell down, Joe. Focus on your journey.
Little on me. It's a blessing. God is yours.
Just trying to save my life. Like you did.
The shine and leave this doomed place. Maybe you'll live long enough to forgive yourselves. Thunderbird's just a few days away.
It's do something. It's 50. It's a practice. It's something. All of the bells. Yeah. Nobody too. It's August 15th.
What makes up the word a work of art?
Politics countless ideas. Yeah. Before this, the idea of a nation being an identity people associate with was the concept. Basically, just order sending on mission to conquer the world. However, what followed the result simply largest loss of life in the expedition street since the Bubonic Plague. But surprisingly, this wasn't due to the people they encountered. This is the story of the Kuroki Death March, and as always, your discretion advised. Back in the early 1700s, most of the people were suffering growing pains of all kinds. The Enlightenment was a great teaching of science and medicine, which somewhat resembled the modern day world and just beginning, and the Industrial Revolution, which soon few decades away. But some of the first signs of the beginning of show which changed the lives of millions of people for better than for worse. One of those was the very foundation of how armies were put together and how they worked. Before, in more feudal centuries, it wasn't unusual for people conscripted into the military service to be expected to provide their own equipment. Now, this wasn't always the case, and especially if you extended last a large amount of time. But for the most part, it didn't really matter. 2 or even 200 people in arms had spears or worked exactly the same way. As long as they were close enough, they could do the same job, it was fine. But the same could be opposite of ancient gunpowder. Before, to reach out and attack an enemy, English used inflict renegade people longbow practice for their citizens, as the English did, or to craft and assemble companies. Muskets meanwhile offered the average farmer the ability to kill a fully armored man like sturdy with a few hours of carrying.
Need something to
And though
drink
armor
soon.
did suck for a while, it was only so far constructed using materials of the era. The only real downside was cost, because unlike most other weapons in history's done, firearms debate chemists and the production of large and precisely crafted mechanisms on a scale no other form of weapon ever had. So put it simply, the idea of a common citizen being drafted and expected to provide their own musket, gunpowder, and bullets was never going to work well. Mismatched sizes, different qualities, and production errors on mass scale couldn't be tolerated in an age where nearly every major power saw warfare on the plane of everyday trade and diplomacy. If you couldn't hold on to the borders of your own kingdom, then quite likely your neighbor would be happy to look after them for you. So if that neighbor also happened to replace more of their archers with musketeers, then you needed to as well. And the only way to make sure all of your soldiers were using their
commodity was for the state to fund everything. This meant direct national taxation of the production of gunpowder on an increasingly industrial scale. Before this, the idea of a nation being an identity people would associate with wasn't a common thing. Instead, you might more closely identify being from a certain city, a religion, a clan, or family, and in fact, depending on the shifting desires of those in power, you could just as easily find yourself fighting with other people who spoke the same language as you and grew up in the same system. But as time went on, with the need to centralize power to afford modern armies built on the foundation of gunpowder, those nations needed to concentrate power and grow. This can only make them bigger targets for the neighbors to keep up with in a cyclical process, essentially expand or be conquered. That brings us to these Carolingians, or Carolina in Swedish. They were named for the Swedish King Charles XI, who oversaw their creation, because Sweden had an extra set of problems to overcome in the 16 and 1700s. If they couldn't secure their place in that of Scandinavia as a whole as a major power, they would be at constant risk of being overrun or cut out by other opportunistic forces in Europe. The huge expansive forests and mountains in Scandinavia offered plenty of access to lumber, metal of all kinds, but not nearly as much food or weather that made farming easy. This left them with a much smaller population and plenty of natural riches that others might decide to invade and claim for themselves.
Chris loves flying, and he loves helping others soar to new heights too. So he built a course on Kajabi that
So the Carolingians were planning to embody a high-risk, high-reward strategy, not because Charles XI enjoyed taking risks, but because it was a necessity. Rather than the old system, which randomly selected 1 out of every 10 men in Sweden for military service, the Carolingians were trained under something known as the new allotment system. This was where each small community was expected to select 1 volunteer to serve as a professional soldier. This volunteer would then spend about a month each year training with the rest of the Carolingians, learning their skills far better than any drafted conscript. Then, otherwise, they'd be a member of their community and economy, farming, working, and living their lives 11 months out of the year. This already offered an edge to the Swedish army. It was how the men fought that truly set them apart. Most armies at the time would march to a range of about 100 to at most 125 meters from each other before firing musket volleys and then gradually advancing until one side broke and retreated. It sort of had to be done this way so that men in the army were within earshot of their officers, and those officers were also able to hear horns and see signal flags from generals, but it also made them large, vulnerable targets. In contrast, the Carolingians knew they couldn't stand up to other nations like that. Their entire army was only around 40 to 50,000 people during peacetime, which was minuscule by comparison to other major powers of the era. So instead, they devised a way to end their battles as quickly as possible. Rather than stopping at 100 meters, the Carolingians marched directly to 50 meters or later on, ran to just 20 before opening fire. Then, instead of bothering to reload, their flying directed to their places, fired their remaining shots while other swords and charged them. This was just given them time to get fire back at them, sending them under fire sources of closing. This would then also cause them to try to put much stress on them, often putting it to other before they started them on the death time to fight. So it's years to be the fire time and reverse. How do they support? They didn't use charge because escaping the need to get into the events. This unusual strategy is known as control of power. So long for those who decide to grow something so similar to shocking in the world. All of this but the code further convincing that fear of mysticism and the consequence of bitterness with refuge not far off the legendary Swiss guard. Maybe the only problem was that if everything was bogged down and lost initiative, the Romans would gradually turn the fort to some extent losses. By the year 1718, the Romans for 18 years in Great Northern War faced Russia, Polish Lithuania, Czech Russia, and several others. Their rare allies, most of them settlers having more securely none for themselves. Maybe the future of the East had lost territory to repeatedly bring the Swedes on themselves threatened to get to rebuild the land. So instead, the plan was devised to attack Norway and West to support the innovation into West to make up their small land and fields of influence. Then after that, the building of the Russians and Netherlands were second from the west side. So in August 1780, Swedish officer Karl Gustav Hansson was in just that. He then gathered on with 10,000 72 killed, 7,000
I can't feel my hands.
This was the connection point between Rome and the more populous southern region and small northern coast, and this would effectively split the country in two. Most of the Russians were fully settled, including Hansson himself, but by this point of the war, simply not back. then, it became long years the fight they left him from their place, and the exhaustion of fighting was so long that certain people were all forced to perform again, way everything. Still, the also going to be after trauma before the next scene, all the so called friends the weather will help protect them from the hurricane, hopefully being up before it's even their gate. In the meantime, in another area, another 20,000 is marching southern Illinois, are still leadership in building and Charles above. This larger arm will rely on Philadelphia sources and roads and that is going to try to conquer all of Norway according to the past. And this might sound like an efficient it was. As part of the plan, our vote was given 6 inches of promise, but immediately this was complicated because the movements in several years of family, beginning to some of them had washed out from the road. This meant bogged down the Ireland finally did get all 3,700 that contrary sealed their own fates. All red troops to the fortresses, 800 cattle were killed as used to feed the army where they camped in bed. The locals who couldn't afford to feed them all, and this was the first warning sign of the campaign that went unheeded. Either way, the army marched on and first crossed the border towards Wisconsin, which was a small fort by the Rudolph River. The army then captured this area that circled around behind it, off the road, while a smaller force distracted them from the front. When they arrived at Stanton and Golden Lights, the Northerners recognized the forces were inferior and surrendered without fight. This was a good early victory, but also a piece of false hope. In fact, just reached the fort particularly used and as a detail of the road here. Then, as Armfelt and the patrols continued along the river, the coast of the River Dolphin itself, more and more small groups of Norwegians were asked to move the way. Under the command of Major General Vincent Gude, civilians were starting to getting around passes into death drops at every opportunity. Armfelt would even call the pass at Langston, and some of that road to be a tiny group of 300 Romans who they were holding back for a time, almost as if they were reenacting Greek battles for Mahu. Even today, this area is little more than a 2-lane road between densely forested mountain cliffs on one side and freezing ocean on the other.
Head to Michael's for our annual Baker Hall event. Now's the time to load up on supplies. T-shirts, brushes, frames, you name it. Because when the deals are this good, it just might be the bigger craft room. Sign up now through August 42.
Bruce just went down to the river and stored up. They found its water high and fast from the heavy rains. And with the Norwegians also holding the other side of crossing would now be impossible. By then, 5 weeks of slow progress had run through most armies' food, and Armfelt decided to wait the river crossing for supplies from Durette to catch up to them. But as the days passed, none arrived, and the army actually had to turn back to the village for Verdun where they could find food, undo 2 weeks of marching and fighting through thin coastal roads. When they get back to Verdun in October, the village was already pressed hard by years of famine, just like Durette. And normally, plundering was an offense punishable by death in the Romans, but the weather and poor planning pushed them to the brink. So this community that they had previously left untouched became a pantry. The presence of so many thousands of extra people that pushed the local food stores to the brink of collapse before the So although Armfelt planned a little better and marched along a different route and built a 200-meter floating bridge to cross the river, when they began to lay siege to Trondheim for weeks, there was no longer any chance of taking the city. Without siege weapons, it was all a wasted effort, including the units. All he had to do was wait them out as both sides suffered from disease, lack of food, and the harsh winter which would hurt the Swedes more in their tents than the Norwegians in the city. So knowing that their situation was not good by November, Armfelt sent a hero's on to mission officer for mail and also possibly discovered the route back. He was then recognized by the villagers when he stopped to rest back in the village of Stordal and was fatally shot in an ambush the next morning. Meanwhile, on their